Nintendo is, of course, a company that is loved for its popular video games. However, if you cross them, they will come for you. And that is exactly what happened to one individual named Gary Bowser, a hacker who has been ordered to pay up to 30% of his salary to Nintendo every month for the rest of his life. Now, why? What happened here? What did he do? Well, apparently Bowser decided to hack into Nintendo and essentially start selling a pirated version of one of their video games, and he made some money doing it. Let's give you the details. Bowser was indicted back in 2020 alongside two other individuals for their activities as part of Team Xecuter, which is a hacking ring that sold chips allowing users to play pirated games. Now, the individuals you see in this video are not the hackers, but it is meant to show you an example of young men enjoying or being stressed out by video games. With that said, despite having a smaller role in the operation as its marketing and PR manager, Bowser was the only one of the three ultimately tried and convicted in the United States. One, a Chinese national, was never arrested, and the other was never able to be extradited to the United States. Now, Bowser reportedly, by the way, the fact that his name is Bowser.
No, I mean, we're gonna ignore that the whole story?
I know, I couldn't.
The guy who hacks Nintendo, the villain of Nintendo, is named Bowser.
I know, it's amazing.
That's unbelievable.
It really is.
This makes it one of the most amazing stories of all time.
Yes, a roller coaster ride though, roller coaster ride. Because while that was amusing, what I'm about to share with you is not. Now, he reportedly made around $300,000 during his time with Team Xecuter. Nintendo has claimed that Team Xecuter's business has actually cost them millions of dollars. They claim $65 million, which I don't know if I buy that. I think you should take their claims in terms of the damages with a grain of salt. But with that said, in 2022, Bowser pled guilty to 2 of his 11 charges. He was sentenced to 40 months in prison, but that wasn't enough apparently, because he was also was told to pay $10 million in damages. $10 million in damages to Nintendo.
What was amazing is that the judge's name was Luigi.
No.
Okay, seriously, that's not true. Seriously, guys. Okay, what he did was
wrong.
Bad. You can't like seriously. I'm not messing around. Like it costs a lot of money, and that you can't just go, haha, it was fun, right? I liked hacking, and we had a blast doing it, and it cost 65 million. Even if you don't believe that number, it cost 6 million. It's still, you can't do it.
You're stealing someone else's product and making money off of what you stole, right? So the hacking is wrong, the stealing is wrong, the profiting off of stolen material is wrong. So we're not giving him a pass.
Yeah, that being said, no, you can't have 40 months and $10 million.
Right.
I mean, it's a significant crime, but 40 months is a significant prison sentence, right? And then you're gonna garnish his wages for the rest of his life? No, that's crazy, man. But the juxtaposition, by the way, that we're gonna get to when you do crimes against corporations versus when you do crimes against human beings, that's super interesting.
It is super interesting. So just a few more details about what happened to Bowser. So, he's a hacker. He's not like some violent person who's gonna cause other problems. And so due to good behavior, he was released from prison early. He didn't serve the full 40 months, but he still has to pay the damages. So Bowser has stated that per the rules of his sentence, he can only contribute 25 to 30% of his total monthly salary to that sum that he owes. That means that he would need to make as much as $40 million to fully repay the damages. So far, Bowser said that he's paid Nintendo $175 from the money he earned working in the prison's library and kitchen. They garnished his wages from prison.
The wages in prison are sometimes as low as like $1 a day. So it's based on the amount of time he spent there. I maybe made a little bit more than that. Don't garnish his wages from prison while you put him in prison. No, and look, guys, tons of people get away with tons of crimes in this country. But if you make the mistake of stealing from the rich or stealing from a corporation, they're gonna punish you the rest of your life.
So his life is ruined over what he did because God forbid he stole from a corporation, right? But what happens when corporations steal from workers? Because wage theft is very much real. Does anyone spend any time in prison for that?
I'm curious, Hannah, do they?
Well, okay, well, a 2019 analysis by the Center for Public Integrity found the following. Companies that hire childcare workers, gas station clerks, restaurant servers, and security guards are among the businesses most likely to get caught cheating their employees. According to a Center for Public Integrity analysis of minimum wage and overtime violations from the United States Department of Labor. In 2019 alone, in just 1 year alone, the agency cited about 8,500 employers for taking about $287 million from workers.
But the good news is they all went to jail, right?
Well, just keep listening, let's see. Okay, I'm gonna take you on a little ride here. Major US corporations are some of the worst offenders. They include Halliburton, G4S, Wackenhut, I don't know what that is, sounds fun, and Circle K, which agency records show have collectively taken more than $22 million from their employees since 2005. Some economists say wage theft is so pervasive that it's costing workers at least $15 billion a year, far more than the amount stolen in robberies, and also, I should note, far more than the alleged damages that Nintendo was stating in its case against Bowser, okay? Now, the Labor Department's wage and hour division is supported. The Labor Department's wage and hour division fined only about 1 in 4 repeat offenders from October 2005 to September of 2020, and it ordered those companies to pay workers cash damages, penalty money in addition to back wages in just 14% of those cases. So no prison.
Huh, that's weird.
They can't even make sure that all of the wrongdoers, all of the employers that stole wages from their workers, pay back their workers. Only a small percentage of them end up doing so.
So let's get this right. Corporations give tons of money to politicians because, and by the way, we're the only country that allows this kind of legalized bribery, where they could just go and give them money and go call it a campaign contribution, let alone dark money, et cetera. And so coincidentally, I am sure government officials then say, you steal a penny from a corporation and we're gonna haunt you for the rest of your life, okay? But when corporations take up to $15 billion from you, all of a sudden those government officials go into a Circle K and whack and hut each other, okay? And no one's to be found, okay? And they're like, oh, crime, $15 billion worth, well, I couldn't find it, golly gee.
Yep. Now, I should be clear that there have been instances of employers who engage in wage theft as they're exploiting undocumented immigrants. There have been some cases of them being sentenced to prison time for that. But in the vast majority of cases where the employer is stealing from the worker, from the individual workers, there is no prison time. There is no discussion about destroying their lives for the rest of their lives. It's just maybe you might have to pay a fine and appropriately compensate your employees, but that's it.
Yep. So this is what corporate rule looks like, guys, and
it's wrong.
And the mainstream corporate media is the matrix. They create the matrix so that you never notice that, hey, this giant disparity. Where, by the way, the only people on Wall Street in the last almost 2 decades who've ever gone to jail are people who stole from Goldman Sachs, okay? So you steal from a major corporation or wealthy people like Bernie Madoff did, you're going to prison for a long time, maybe to the rest, and you're paying in some version the rest of your life. They steal from you, no penalties at all. Thanks for watching The Young Turks, really appreciate it. Another way to show support is through YouTube memberships. You'll get to interact with us more. There's live chat emojis, badges. You've got emojis of me, Anna, John, JR, so those are super fun. But you also get playback of our exclusive member-only shows and specials right after they air. So all of that, all you gotta do is click that join button right underneath the video. Thank you.